Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. This is Big Chonas. Remember, you guys can follow me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonas. These are my best ideas. This is not financial advice. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the 2014 Bitcoin parabolic move and then unwind, and then basically a similar fractal pattern of this current unwinding of Bitcoin. And you see, back then we had our parabolic move, and let me change this up just a little bit here, followed by our pullback. We tried to put in a higher high, we were rejected. More pullback. Again, we put in a lower high, had some sort of a pretty nasty bottom here with a nice bounce that led from that. A double top where we failed to put in a higher high. A very steep downtrend where we put in a lower high. A bunch of chop down here. A failed breakout that came back pretty quickly, and then continued bearishness until we actually did find a bottom, a long consolidation period, another failed breakout, and then another bottom quickly that began our next parabolic move bull cycle. That brought us to this area here where we had, and stop me if this sounds familiar, a very big parabolic move. We had a steep pullback. We had another move up. We were failed to put in a higher high, similar to over here. More pullback, a nice move up, failed to put in a higher high. Had a pretty nasty capitulation bottom, V bottom. This is more of a W bottom slightly, but still had a really quick snapback, little consolidation area, and then this is the daily, so a lot of bullish moves that led to a really nice uptrend for a little bit. Something very similar right here, where we then had a pullback, a nice U shape here, where we put in a lower high on just the wick here. Similarly, we put a lower high. We didn't even able to get up as high, but close. Double hump. Here's our U, very similar. And then we basically pulled back some more, had a little bump, and now we have an area here that I want to talk about. It's kind of this formation here, and if we can find a similarity to this formation up here, or are we more down in this area over here? So what we have here is, once this area failed to hold, which could be argued as very similar to this area here, we had a break and we had a bottom, which could be right here. So back over here. This was our run here. There we go, over here. So we had a little hump. It failed. We had a couple more little bumps on the way down. We had a little double top here, which could be something in this area here. We had a couple more spikes, and then we finally had a full capitulation down to something over here. Then we actually bounced. Look at that. We actually bounced over here very similarly as well. Nice little top, but then we turned back over and we came back down pretty steep. But look at, we actually put in a higher low over here. And over here, pull back pretty steep, but we put in a higher low over here. And that was here like a day ago. And then we had a very fast boom, push, spike, higher. And look at that. It's push, spike, higher. Like, it's pretty dead on right there. But something interesting happens here. We have this very long bearish wick that comes out after all this is played out. And where does it stop? It stops, we broke this neckline here. And with continuation, we went up here, trying to break back into this area here. So where is this area of strong resistance that killed this little run right here? if we can find where this area is in relation to where we are now. So is this area something very similar to this area right here? Now we stopped today so far at about 74, a little under $7,500, just about 74, 75, right there in this confluence area here, which could be here because we broke our neckline of our inverse head and shoulders, which we can definitely confirm now. Similarly, as we broke this neckline here of our W bottom. So that's confirmed in this first part of the candle. And then we had the second part of our candle here. And that part of the candle could potentially be this part of the candle here, with maybe a little bit more room to run, which is where, so basically this could be where we are currently, with just a little bit more room to run that equals up something similarity to this candle here. And then look what happens. We pull back, we put in again a higher low, boom, 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 but then we roll over again. We roll right over again. We roll over when this support line fails, and then our downtrend continues. So it is possible that we are putting in an exact fractal of what happened here, but look, this happened in November. We're talking about November, but we're only in July. So then you have to make the argument that this unwind is moving faster, quicker from a time perspective than the 2014 unwind of the parabolic move did. That's definitely not unreasonable. But let's play another what if. Let's say this already happened. Let's say this move was more this move that had failed over, and we put in a low here, which was actually our low at 5,700. Had a nice, look at that right there. Boom. Another similar candle that goes up very fast in a very short amount of time, bounces around for a while, but then we actually end up having another fail attempt breakout and come back now. So either way you look at it, if this fractal is going to play out, we could be here with another down leg, or maybe we're over here with a couple failed breakouts. But are we over here where we've already been through all this? Is this area more like this area? And now we have just begun this shoot up here? Is this shoot up of price where we're finding that Bitcoin ever actually made a little bit of a larger shoulder, bigger head, littler shoulder, broke it here, and that was basically the sign that that the bull run was continuing. You know, this is not science, lockdown science here, because this is, again, we're trying to make very similarities to Bitcoin that was back in 2014. You know, I don't have to tell you that everything, or many things have changed since then in terms of all the eyeballs trading Bitcoin right now, all the money that's continually out there, the larger money, the more access people have to trade Bitcoin. All those, of course, will factor in how these play out. But you have to admit that this pattern and this pattern have significant similarities, and if we can attribute these similarities to our current price point and what's currently happening in the price area here, there are arguments to be made that we could be here somewhere about to have a nice top off, firm rejection, and then a steep pullback. Or are we past that and we're more in this zone here, we're ready to break out there? You know, personally, I think we're closely more into this zone. This looks more, this feels more like we're here and not here, because these capitulation areas, if they were to play out again, I feel haven't happened yet. You know, but again, this is just my opinion. These are not, this is, you know, this will play out because the fractal, the whole theory behind it is, you know, the same patterns continue to play out. And although we see several similarities when you have 10x leveraging, 100x leveraging, different ways to put money and pump the market, and of course being able to short it, of course will affect how this plays out. So this is just kind of more of a fun experiment, but so far, I mean, the similarities are just uncanny, and it is very possible that this move here and this move here are somewhat in the same, and we see how this move basically ended up. So that's a little interesting information there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just want to kind of talk to you about that. Stay safe out there. Remember, guys, Bitcoin is a heartbeat. All you need to do is trade the pulse. Until the next time, we'll talk to you guys later.